Welcome to the UNRUGGABLE podcast. I'm your host, Moishe.
And I'm Ella. And tonight we are talking to DJ Seip. Am I saying it correctly? Please fix my pronunciation.
DJ Seip it is. Thank you for having me, guys.
Oh man, it's totally our pleasure. It really is. It's lovely to meet you. I think we connected the first time when you were on the UNRUGGABLE podcast space, like way back near Christmas, I think. You joined one of those spaces, I think. Yeah, no, that was really nice. And then obviously since then, I've had a bit of back and forth communication and we've started chatting, which is great. So let's get into it then. Self-made or never praised? That is such a fantastic line. Is that your line? Please tell us about that.
Yeah, self-made and never praised has sort of been a motto for me for a long time. For me, it's always been if you don't create it yourself, or if it's just gifted to you, it'll land quicker in the corner. That's where my motto comes from, self-made and never praised.
That's beautiful, man. I love that.
It really, really is. And I noticed it when I read your bio on your website. And of course, many of our listeners might not have seen that yet. So let's talk a little bit about you and where you come from and how you got into the music business. You started out in Asia, if I'm correct.
Yeah, exactly. Vietnam. And that's where I started as a DJ, standing up there in big clubs, playing EDM music though. Rocking clubs all over Asia, music producing at the side. And here we are, 2022.
I saw you on a Belvedere DJ battle at a very young age.
Yeah, that was, I think I was 17.
It's incredible.
And one of my resident clubs called Fuse Club in Saigon, Vietnam. One of the DJs hooked me up with the events where they were doing a DJ battle sponsor from Belvedere, the vodka brand. And I came there, did my thing, just loved playing music on vinyl turntables. Time went by, me having fun, all of a sudden I was up there. Yeah, it was a lot of DJs also that came out, so it was a really great community as well. Loved it. And helped me definitely find foot in the scene.
So you mentioned EDM music. How has your musical style evolved over the years? What sort of music are you making now? Has it changed at all?
Through coming to Europe, I actually saw the whole flip. Everywhere where I went or where my friends pulled me to was all hip hop, R&B, Latin music. And I quickly started loving it and got stuck there and really just been vibing out with hip hop, R&B, and Latin music. That's also what I love producing. Here and now, I always try myself at EDM music, producing it, but don't really feel at home with it. But I DJ everything across the board. So from EDM music to hip hop to dancehall to trap music to even a rock song, a reggae song, as long as it fits the moment and the vibe of the crowd.
Versatility is just fantastic. I mean, you meet a lot of people in the music game who are very set on one thing, and I guess being able to just move across those styles, it's creatively very freeing, I guess. It makes you kind of, what can I say? Moishe probably is the best person to talk about this, being as Moishe makes music himself.
Yeah, music is extremely therapeutic. It's a great way to express yourself and to get out your creative talents.
Definitely, it is. It's like a language in a sense. You're just expressing what you're feeling.
For sure, man. I've listened to a couple of your tracks, and I that one song, Pretty Boy Swag.
Yeah.
So I saw that song charted on
it did.
top 10 MTV Urban Charts.
Exactly. Out here in Germany, it went. I don't remember. I think it was like 2017, 18.
Talk to me about that feeling.
It was amazing. Just knowing that your song achieved that sort of motivates you to keep going. It motivates you to keep doing what you're doing because you're on the right path. And having a lot of DJs out here that follow those charts with what they're selecting to pick, and also since they're repping their own country a lot, it's amazing seeing that other people enjoy the music and enjoy it to an extent where they will actually also show it to their friends.
That's awesome. I've seen Forbes magazine, put an article about you. Describe you as not only a DJ but also a founder.
Yep.
getting onto Forbes, it's one milestone after another.
It really is. They didn't fully interview me or write an article about me per se, but they mentioned me and wrote a passage about me just being part of the top 100 entrepreneurs in that time that were active on Twitter. So even though being on the eyes of Forbes at that moment was amazing, just cool feeling knowing that these people see you. And
huge numbers of people listening to you on Spotify as well. And I mean, I know some guys who do music, and getting to that point where you're getting those thousands and thousands of streams is a huge achievement. Can you tell us about what you did to build up your following? I mean, how did you achieve that?
Since I'm a DJ, I sort of have this belief that, or feel that having my DJ friends support the music is a great thing. So that's exactly where I went with my music. I wanted to make music in general that is club playable and that I can drop myself. So when I dropped my music, I ended up sending it to all the DJs that I know. I started hitting up DJs that I don't know and build relationships with them, get to know what they're doing, and ask them to see if they like my music and play it in their shows, if it's radio, if it's festivals, if it's clubs. I was just doing that every day, hitting up DJs all over the world.
That's it, isn't it? You have to put the hours in and you have to network effectively and build relationships with people. It's the same in any industry, I guess. It's no overnight success except the ones that are built on hard work, right?
Definitely.
Self-made or never praised. That's how we go.
Hey, that's it.
It's the motto. That's how we do it.
Hey, I hope it's okay for me to mention this, but I saw it on your Instagram and it's something that kind of connected to me. You mentioned that you're a proud daddy. I also have a couple of kids myself. How does family life balance with the music? Because I guess working in clubs, it must be a complete nightmare to put the two together, right?
It's hard at the beginnings because it's new life that enters your family, and it also requires time. And I'd never want anything else. So I'm really proud. You'll make it work.
Do you know what? You sound like me. I'm the same. I've got two. And it's exactly that. You just make the time and you figure out that you can actually be so much more productive than you ever thought was possible before you had the kid. But that's really lovely. And I'm so glad it's working out for you. I think we all need a bit of that happiness in our lives, especially with the couple of years that we've had with the pandemic. Talk to me about how the pandemic has affected your career. I guess the club stuff must have just stopped overnight, right?
Yeah, it did. With the lockdowns and clubs being, of course, one of the per se hot spots, let's call it, and quickly closing down because the entire nightlife closed down. We saw festivals, club nights, all of that. So me performing has just quit, and I had some lucky, unfortunate incident happen when I moved apartments right when the pandemic started, which was also kind of tricky with all the lockdowns. And now with everything opening up again, I'm excited.
So your friends have been carrying you, but how have you been, because I guess you've lost a lot of income with all the clubs shut and everything. Have you been doing other things for work in the last 2 years?
Since family I put my DJ career and music career a little bit to the side and started doing a full-time job as safety for family and everything. And that's when pandemic started. So it was a lucky move that I did. And that's what saved me also in the pandemic for now. But in the future, I'm definitely looking to go back into just music full time. But for now, it was a good catch, a good move.
We all need that security. I'm the same. I have a full-time job. You get no criticism from here. You've got to have that security. And I think in some ways that kind of, when you do have some free time to be creative, you can be more free to enjoy it because it's not a job, you know? You don't have that pressure of needing the money.
Exactly. And I love music so much. I don't ever want it to become work.
No, of course. I'm with you on that 100%. So you're selling merchandise, you're selling beats, you're doing producing, you're doing a little bit of everything. But I guess the reason our paths have crossed is because you've taken a little step towards NFTs. Why don't you tell us a little bit how that happened?
I was getting into just cryptocurrency in general last year in the summer. And closer coming towards Christmas, I opened my Twitter app, which I haven't opened for years, to be really honest, and started using Twitter again and saw Spaces. And I was like, what's this? Gotta look at it. I was like, okay, what are NFTs? And I've just been stuck in Spaces for a while and learned everything I can, looked at all the projects, see how creative people are getting in this blockchain world and Web3 world. So that's sort of how I got into it.
The move into NFTs, have you started creating your own NFTs yet?
I actually have. My Genesis collection is already ready. It's just laying as I'm crafting my plan behind it. And meanwhile, I'm just dropping at the side a collection on OpenSea of instrumental beats. If you're a rapper or a singer or a NFT community that needs a theme song to your artwork, if you're a fan, if you're just anyone that enjoys listening to something that wants to own a piece, I'm putting them on Polygon blockchain on OpenSea. And with it, you get the full stem trackouts of my beats. So it's called Blockchain Beats by DJ Seip. And there's always the stems of the entire track. There's an unlimited license, so you can actually use the beat commercially, and unlimited, no limitations. So that's sort of a thing that I'm doing at the side. And there's actually only 9 beats of each available. So only 9 people can do something commercially with it. But if you want to be like the sole owner of that instrumental, you can just cop yourself 9 copies and nobody else is going to be able to make commercial music with it or do anything with it.
So a copy is you said is going for $39.
It's going for 0.02 ETH. So I think that's like
I know.
$50.
I saw on your
like
website
that.
you were selling beats as well.
Oh yeah, on my website I am selling as well.
Are those the same beats or are those separate beats?
They're different beats. So the NFT beats that I'm putting out on OpenSea, they will not be on my website. They will only be on OpenSea. And the ones on my website, they're only on my website.
Okay, 0.02 ETH. So today that's about it's around $50.
Yep.
So we can so I'd buy 9 of them and I own that beat then. The unlimited.
Exactly.
Now the one you have on your website that's $39. Do those have the unlimited license?
No. So well, there's different licenses to it that you can get on my website. There's a basic license which gives you the MP3 file of the track, and I actually got to look up myself how many streams, but the streams are limited. So the streaming as well as radio stations, they're all limited. You can only do a certain amount. And then there's the unlimited version, the license you can also get on my website. That costs $149. And with that, you have the same as the NFT. But the NFT is going for $50. So that's sort of the price difference there.
Very interesting. Yeah, because I speak to a lot of people who come from the Web2 space. They have a website. They sell their art. They sell their music. They sell their videos. Whatever it is that their service that they're or product that they're making, and then they have different pricing. In Web2 and Web3. It's always something to consider. To make sure that your pricing is accurate.
Exactly. You just got to figure out what your price is that you want to do. I have my price for myself on my website, and for my Polygon collection, in that sense, I just thought, well, let's test it out, see how it goes. I'm not here to make money. I just want to get my tracks out. So 0.02 ETH. Let's go.
No doubt. Yeah, I'll have to check those out. I pay a lot more for my beats generally. It's definitely a great price.
Exactly. People did ask me why is it so cheap, but
well, you're gaining traction, aren't
cheap,
you?
right?
They asked me that about my art, and I said, "Well, I sold it. What's your point?"
Exactly.
For sure. Sure, you get your name out there.
And if you're a holder, like, you can still resell it for a higher price. Like, look at my website. You see how much a beat is going there. And on my website, you cannot get exclusive licenses. You can only get an unlimited license, but 1,000 people could get unlimited licenses and use the same beat. Whereas on OpenSea, you could actually get an exclusive and be the only one.
That is the concept of the NFT in a nutshell, isn't it? It's about having limited supply and people pay for the scarcity. So you mentioned you've got like an upcoming drop coming. Is that going to be on one of the music NFT platforms? Tell us about that.
Yeah, so I have another one coming on Sunday, the 27th this month on OpenSea, and that's going to be added to my blockchain beats by Seip. There's going to be another 9 copies of a beat available on Sunday. I will be sporadically always adding more beats to that collection. Didn't want to put a limit on how many it's going to be at the end, because if I still like this in 2 or 3 or 4 years, I still want to add to it. If I want to do this in 20 years, I don't want to say it's only going to be 100.
That makes a huge amount of sense, absolutely. So,
yeah.
Should we talk about future plans? Like, where next for you? What's happening?
Right now, I'm actually on the mission of producing 100 beats. At the side of my Discord, I'm letting my community decide which ones can actually go up to my blockchain beats collection. And my main mission right now, just produce 100 beats and have 100 beats on my belt. Besides that, I'm also producing 5 more singles right now, and just racking up content for myself that I really love. I want to stand behind and not rushing myself to release, but I actually just want to make great music.
That's awesome. I got a question for you in the NFT space, though. I saw you're associated with a project called Karmeleons NFT, if I'm pronouncing that right.
Yeah, Karmeleons NFT.
Karmeleons. Oh, there we go. Karmeleons.
Exactly. Those are the bad boys.
Tell me about this project. What is your affiliation?
I met them on Twitter Spaces. So big props to Twitter Spaces because they connect you with people. And I love the art. I saw one of those chameleon images and I was like, they're sick. There's a whole chunk of apes already out there. And I was like, what's something else? And they're something else. And they're cool. They're slick. They're simple yet dope. And they were really humble. They welcomed me so nice. And I've just been vibing with them. It was the first community I sort of entered, and man, till today, I don't regret it. They're really cool. It's a project that has not sold out yet. They're still really early. There's 3,333 chameleons able to be minted, and we're at like 400 something, I think, right now. So still growing, and they're getting doper and doper, like new traits being revealed, new things coming, and we don't even know what's behind that artist chameleon yet. Like, we haven't seen the greatest yet, I think, of what's going to be minted. So this is really exciting.
That's awesome. Is this the project that you would say onboarded you into NFTs?
Yes, exactly.
That's amazing. That's incredible. You know, it's I always say you're gonna think back in years from now, you know, when NFTs and the blockchain are fully mainstream, and it's always gonna be that question, you know, who's that first friend that brought you in? What was that first project you saw? And you'll be able to look back at this moment and be like, you know, that project, whether they're a success, whether they're not, whatever happens, you know, with the project, the friends you're with, you're always gonna remember what brought you into NFTs.
Definitely.
You know, it's like who got you as an early investor into Tesla. You know, it's like
right.
That's something you're gonna remember.
It's those firsts. You never forget the firsts.
For sure. It's absolutely amazing, like the community that we have here on Twitter. And the spaces, you know, it allows you to do a lot. I'm speaking with a lot of music artists, and there's a lot of different things you can do with NFTs, how to get your project out there in a creative way. I've seen people take a single instrumental and break it up by different instruments. You know, yep. Each file they individually bounced out and exported as a wave, and then uploaded it. And when you get the whole beat together, then you get the whole instrumental. So as opposed to doing like copies of the beat, I've seen people do it like that. People have taken sample packs, and then if you're able to use that sample pack for royalties, you could buy royalties for a future song that you're going to use it with. So one of your like future songs, you could sell part of this track as an NFT, and then offer royalties of your track to holders. It's a lot of creative ways to get people involved.
Yeah, there's so many creative ways that people are coming into this Web3 and NFT world. It's insane just seeing how many crazy ideas people come up with. Like, there's no limitations, there's no boundaries. You can do whatever you want, how simple or complex you want. It's all about fun, and there's a lot of people bringing fun into it.
Are you looking to partner with anybody now?
In the future, definitely. Looking to partner with people in the future, of course. For right now, I'm just building my content and not really looking too much into partnering. I'm just vibing out with a few communities that I'm in right now. If one or two more communities get added to my Discord, I'm down. It's just going to be the right ones.
Yeah, because I've seen a ton of projects. They look for musicians and they partner up. They take like a 3D animated video and partner up with a musician, put some audio behind that, and they make these super cool creations. They're just like a amazing hybrid, between graphic art and illustration, together with music, and just showcasing art at its finest.
You name it. I've seen so many crazy 3D art just because seeing the artists all of a sudden through Twitter and the musicians that I already knew, some of them collabing, and it's crazy. I love it. I think Bitbots is one of the ones that I've seen that are doing it also as well, really great right now. I love that stuff, especially like the Bored Apes, I think it was, that are doing the videos. Like, it feels like I'm watching a movie. That's so cool. And there's audio artists behind it that are collabing with them.
Yeah, it's incredible.
So this is a space where anyone that's creating any type of music, you can find foot. You just gotta reach out.
What platforms are you looking for in the NFT space for NFT music?
I'm looking at not that many right now because I'm not really focusing on that aspect yet. Just testing my foot in the water with OpenSea. But I've looked at a couple, especially on Solana and Near Protocol, but haven't looked at the platforms that much yet. But I definitely need to do that.
All right, we'll have to speak after the episode in DMs. I've got a ton of research I've done into music NFT scene. I'm personally looking to release a 24-song album as NFTs, complete with over 100 videos to go with it, but 4 per song, and then promos and compilations.
That's dope.
So I think that there is so much work to be done in the music space. NFTs allow you to get that independence that your labels get signed to a label and they own you. You're their slave. They give you 10-12% sometimes. I've seen artists get as low as that. Before, and then they have their advances first, right? You get your advance, but then it's like okay, you also have to pay for that production, and we rented that house for your music video and that car, and we gave you that watch. You owe us for that. And it's like, oh, I thought that was all for free. I thought that was all whatever.
Nah, it ain't.
And it's sad to see a lot of your favorite artists that you're gonna see on Billboard are actually broke in real life. And you see a massive artist like Lil Wayne, who was stuck, couldn't upload because he had his dispute with Birdman and his label. And the Carter file was delayed for years as a result. So, massive artists that you think they're making millions, they didn't make millions, and they're stuck up in record deal disputes, and there's so much, drama that goes on around there with labels. And then enter in NFTs, and it's just so much freedom. Get your bag, do your thing. You have art, you have your product that your fans love. Give it to them directly. There's no middleman. There's no cuts. You could have a marketing agency. You could have a designers. Those are people that you're paying. They're not taking cuts. You're not being allotted a little bit of your work.
It is.
And that to me is one of the most incredible things about NFTs. They're so freeing, and the financial freedom that they give you.
Exactly. It really is. You are in control. That really is what NFTs are like. You can do it however you like, in whatever pace you like, in whatever collaboration types you like. You're not bound to anyone, and nobody is pushing you to do something that you might not want to do. And you decide how you do the splits. You decide everything. And that's cool. Like, it's just the middleman gone. You don't have to share just in order to even get in there. Like, you can do it.
Yeah, speaking of labels, I saw you founded Soul Kings labels.
Exactly.
Talk to me about that.
When I started out, I wanted to help a couple of friends release their music as well, and I wanted to have a home for my music. So I started Tokens Records, which later on evolved to Coastal Vibes. Yeah, we're just looking to create a platform for artists to release their music, and we also want to help them actually do all the steps that it takes to release music properly. Because there's a lot of artists that I see that are talented, but they're not doing the work, and the music just doesn't get seen, which is really, really sad because there's great music and so many people would appreciate hearing it. And if it fails because you didn't do some of the steps, then man, like you could have done your work and a lot more people could have seen that greatness. So that's sort of what we wanted to fix and help people with.
Yeah, the legendary basketball coach. So a famous quote. He said, hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard.
That is it. That is it.
Yeah, wow, I'm forgetting his name now, but yeah, I remember it was a basketball coach who said this, and he really just hit the nail on the head. So there's people who are super talented, but they don't put the work in, and then there is people who might not be that 10 out of 10. They're an 8 out of 10, but their grind makes them a 15.
Exactly. If you are not achieving what you want to achieve, then it's on you. Like, you can still make it. All you got to do is do. I think the greatest thing for me has always been Nike with their just do it. It's like, damn, just do it, man. Quit finding excuses. You could have been done already. Could have been a step ahead already. Because your competitors, they ain't sleeping like you are. If you're sleeping, like they're always trying to get 2 steps ahead. And if there's 100 people trying to get 2 steps ahead, man, you got to do your work.
You got to go 4 steps. You're absolutely right. I was just there on mute, kind of clapping. That's exactly my philosophy too. And I guess that answers the question of how you manage to fit it all in, because you just do it, right? And that's how it's got to be.
Exactly.
Every single day. So I really want to know, if you have a musician who's just starting out on the scene, they've got some lovely content, but they don't know where to go first. What's their day one priorities? What do they need to do to start getting their music seen and heard by lots of people?
I think the best thing is always, before you put out your music in general, make sure you have great music. That's step one. And something that you stand behind, that you're fully proud of. Don't rush yourself because you think, oh man, like there's people waiting for stuff. Like I got to show someone. Make sure your stuff's lit. And then make sure to look at what people are doing that are successful already. Look at what they're doing. Look at how they're looking. Like in Web3 or also digital world, that's where a lot of people will have a first encounter with you. Your social medias, all those spaces, they're important. They're like your business card. If I don't see you looking like one of the other ones up there, I might not stop. So if you set that up and it looks the way that the music also feels, and it all matches one harmony, because it's a brand. You got to treat it as a brand. If you do those steps and get your brand set, have great music, and make a simple way of how people can come in and find your music without having to search, go 100 steps to find all the stuff they need, you're really just helping your newcomers that see your music come in. And then it's all about how you speak to them, because the community builds, and they're all there because they like the same thing as you. They'll help you. They'll help you promote. They'll get their friends in, and they'll help you find more friends that nobody knows yet that also like that sound. I think that's the best way you can go. You can have overnight success, but it can also be gone that quick. But with a dope community, you can go, you can grind, you can build for the long term.
That's a great answer. And again, like everything you said before, totally applies to every other area of life as well. Certainly it's that way in the art scene, and I think that's the way in any industry, really. I don't know, Moishe, tell me I'm wrong.
Absolutely. I just was thinking about a book I read recently called Shoe Dog by Phil Knight, the CEO and founder of, retired CEO and founder of Nike. and his drive and hustle, and how he got to just do it, how you get there, what you do, it's an art, hustle and drive and grind, where it's like, I most likely will fail, but I will push forward. It's an art to get to your mind, get your mindset like that. It's there's those people are truly one of a kind. Like we said about people are talented. There's a lot of people who are talented, but the people who are willing to put that work in, people are willing to put that grind in it and succeed past the 99% that started out, the 99% of people who do that. I live my life by something called choose your hard. Being fit is hard, and not being fit is hard. Choose your hard. Marriage is hard, divorce is hard. Choose your hard. You go through everything in life like that. The easy stuff, the stuff that seem easier than working on something, are also very hard. So you got to really pick which one you want to do. And it's the people that are able to have that discipline and consistency to just continue choosing the right hard and continue pushing forward, are the people who build a massive company like Nike, the people who are the Steve Jobs. We all know the story of how Apple started. You go to every major company, you watch how they go. How many times did Elon Musk was about to go broke? Tesla was about to go under. You watch every major company has a story like this, because that's the way success is built. Success is built by working hard like that and having that grind that no one else does.
That is really it. It's all about doing the work and just making sure that you get your work out there. And it doesn't happen just because you upload. Like, you still need to get the people there. It's like a restaurant. Just because the restaurant's there, people are not going to walk in. You still need to make them come in. So if you're doing all that work to get them people in, it will work out. If you don't, well, you spent your time finding excuses. That's all right too. But then don't complain later.
Agreed. 100%.
Yeah, 100%.
All right, listen, it's been really, really great. Really, really great getting to hear your story, learning about your past, how you're maintaining the security while working towards your dreams, digging into the NFT world. Love to see people, coming into the space. Love your music, love your energy, and love your vibes, man. It's been a pleasure speaking to you. And I'm really looking forward to seeing the future.
Thank you for having me. It was great chatting with you, and hope to see more coming. Like, definitely excited to see what you guys are doing as well.
Of course. Appreciate that. All right, Ella, is there anything else you want to wrap up?
I just want to say how lovely it's been to finally speak with you. Obviously, you're doing something pretty amazing, and genuinely, it's been lovely. And I just want to wish you all the best for the future. I will be watching, and don't forget us when you're famous, man. That's all I'm going to say.
Well, we've already been chatting. My DMs are always open, so I like it, appreciate it, and there's definitely a lot more coming in the future.
Awesome.
Thank
Best
you.
of luck.
Have a great evening, guys.
Have an amazing night.
Have a good night.